paint season already for 2026, folks. And it comes up on us fast. We had a couple months where we got to take a deep breath, but it's back on us now. So tonight we have our first candidate for governor of Michigan for 2026, Anthony Hudson.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
It's good to be in Hillsdale in front of the real Republicans here.
Yeah.
I know what you guys have gone through, I know what you fought for, and I know what you stand for, and it's an honor to be here to actually talk to some real conservatives that want to fight, that want to do the right thing. As he said, my name is Anthony Hudson. My friends call me Tony, which ironically spelled backwards is why not? You'll hear me say that a few times tonight. I'm not a politician, so I'm not going to bore you with the same speech you're going to hear from past candidates. I'm going to hope to talk to you about real legitimate change from you, the people. The biggest part of my platform is our nasty little friend called property taxes. It is time that they go. You cannot and simply will not ever own your home, even after you pay off the note, because you have to continue to lease your land to the state in the form of a property tax. And people are going to come up and go, Anthony, Tony, you can't do that. Why not? Yes, I can. Before something was ever written in government, it was unwritten. It didn't exist. People got together and said, hey, how can we get money from people to pay for everything that we want to do, not what they want to do? The creation of laws, taxation. I remember not too long ago what this country did over a 2% increase on tea. And now I look at where we're at, and we're not anywhere near the resiliency of the men and women who lost their lives back then. Property taxes, they are a governmental collateralization of your land where they can hold you to a slave to the system. Without it, they don't have the control. You do. Without property taxes, your homeowner's insurance would never increase, because it's funny how those two work in the same, right? Property tax goes up, homeowner's insurance goes up, right? People don't want to build their homes anymore. They don't want to remodel their kitchens or their bathrooms or build a pole barn, because that's going to make my property worth more, and now I got to come out of pocket more to pay the government for my right to have that pole barn. That's not freedom. And I know you're going to correct me if I'm wrong. But freedom, freedom, by definition, is the ability to think, act, and say what you choose without the feeling of enslavement. I feel enslaved every day I get up and go somewhere and spend a single dollar out of my pocket. Because I was lied to. I was told that my dollar is going to go here, or it's going to go there, and it's going to go over here. Fact is, we don't know where our money's going. We passed the laws on marijuana in the state of Michigan. Does anybody know where the marijuana tax is actually going? Not where they told us it was going to go, but where it's actually being put. Does anybody know where the lottery tax is going? I know where it was supposed to go. Where? Their salary. And the mayor was talking about that, and I appreciate what he had to say, but I want to talk about some of that in a minute too.
They said roads and schools.
Roads and schools. But yet our schools are one of the worst in the country. And now our legislatures are wanting a 17% increase this year, even though we had a 15% decrease in students last year. Why pay more for the same failed success? Right? I want to introduce a bill called the Zero Tolerance Spending Bill. It allows your government to audit every facet of government from city, township, county, state, quarterly, and publicize the results publicly so you can see where every penny is being spent. That's a way that you can hold your government officials accountable. Right now, there's no such thing. We don't know where our money's going. Gretchen Whitmer wants to raise the gas tax by 19 cents this year on an already tax that's double taxed. People with electric vehicles, they don't pay this tax. And they complain about our roads. Shut up. If you don't pay for the gas and you're not contributing to the repair of the roads, don't complain about our roads. How are those electric vehicles working up in northern Michigan right now? It's not that people can't get out of their homes because of trees or no power. They can't get out of their homes because the cars won't run. Don't tell me what I have to do, Witless Whitmer. I want to buy whatever vehicle I want to buy. If I want a Dodge Ram Hemi to pull a trailer, then I'm going to buy what I want with my money. It's mine, I earned it. And that's where the government has failed to recognize you and your importance in the state. We have another tax that I think is redundant that I don't agree with. Why do I have to pay the state for the right to go to work? My income tax. Why? I have the right to work. I go to work to pay for my bills, my family, my hobbies, to enjoy my life as a free citizen in a free country. But I have to pay my state for the right or the ability to go to work. You can't do that, Tony. Why not? We are overtaxed on every dollar we make and every dollar we spend. But yet nothing is getting done in the state of Michigan as far as repairs. That's why my hat says Fix Michigan. It's black and yellow, not blue and yellow, not to misconstrue anything. Michigan is broken. We keep upping our taxes and paying more and more and more, but we see no results anywhere. Anthony, how are you going to get rid of property taxes and state income taxes and have people still have essential services? Mayor, this is where I want to introduce a 3% county tax in replace of a 4.25% income tax and your high expensive property tax. You homeowners are the only ones contributing to your essential services in your community. It's not your burden. It's ours as a society. So if you take 3 from 4.25, what do we get? 1.25, right? They don't teach this math in school anymore. Instead, they want your sons to become daughters and your daughters to become sons. If you want to do a math problem, you have to read a paragraph that takes you down Main Street, circles back around the other side of town, and come back up in the alley somewhere to get your answer. 4.25 minus 3 leaves you 1.25% savings with no property tax. Now, the key to this, Mayor, is the 3% stays in your county. None of it goes to Lansing. Property tax and state income tax is collected by the county, and the state gets a portion. Genesee County, where I live, last year, $263 million collected from state income tax and property taxes. Okay? How much do you think they got to keep? $167 million. If Genesee County had a 3% county tax, based on an average median of $32,000 a year, which is pretty crappy for Genesee County, they would raise $418 million. And that money stays in the county. The cities and the townships have to work with the county commissioners. You bring back local control so that you have a say with where your money goes. You don't take $1 million grant and spend so much on bicycle paths. I don't care about bicycle paths. I care about the fact that the road got a pothole that'll swallow a Volkswagen.
Amen. Right.
Let the county commissioners, we have a road commission in every county. You don't have one? Well, you can have one. I'll give you one.
Well, I want to be like that.
MDOT. And I gotta give credit to the mayor, because he talked about a lot of stuff I'm gonna talk about tonight, so thank you for that. MDOT. $8.1 billion just to have it. $5.3 billion this year just to do the work. Where are we at? Simple math, folks. 8.1, 5.3, 13.5 billion dollars. If I took the 8.1 billion and eliminated MDOT, every county would get an average of $97 million. You don't need your grant. $97 million for road repair. Some counties are smaller than others. They don't need the full $97 million. $4.5 billion this year for corporate welfare. I will cut it. And I will take the $4.5 billion and put it where? To the roads. We don't need to raise money to pay to fix our roads. We need to cut the fat, cut the wasteful spending, get rid of the bureaucracy, and actually fix the roads. Anthony, what do you do for a living? I drive a gravel train for a road construction company. I'm not going to tell you we're going to fix the damn roads and the light's going to go off. I do it every day to fix, to help my family. That's how I earn a living. No more Band-Aids. No more temporary patches. Tear it up, fix it. Rubberized asphalt. Rubber on rubber. Floating concrete. Anybody ever heard of this idea? Floating concrete means there's no rebar in the concrete. The section of 275 from 94 to 96 that was under construction last year, there's no rebar in that highway. What does this mean, Anthony? It means that 275 works as the same fashion as the Ambassador Bridge. It flexes. So when you get the heavy trucks, it absorbs the weight. It's not sturdy against heavy, pushing against each other, causing the cracks and the potholes and the product to fall apart. You allow a give and go. It costs 7% more, but comes with a 20-year lifespan. Take note, whether you elect me or not next year, take note of 275 and tell me, in 2 years, are we working on that road again? Because I'll promise you right now today we won't be. I also promise you the section of I-75 from Cooks Road to Adams Road has been repaired 3 times in the last 6 years. Job security for MDOT. They know they're going to fix it like crap, so they have a job to come back to next year. We see cones everywhere, but I don't see any work crews. I don't see anything being done about it. The cones are there to deceive us like their words, thinking, oh, the roads are getting repaired. When in reality, Whitmer's only fixed 6% of the roads in the entire state of Michigan in 7 years.
That's no lie. I took a person from New Orleans around last fall. I don't know, it was the August period, and he said the same thing. He's like, I can't believe how many construction cones there are with no workers.
That's right.
We don't have enough people to hold shovels up.
I told him I was like, it's a Michigan flower.
Yeah.
Did you know that MDOT has 5 airplanes? Did you know that we pay not only for the airplane, but for the pilots, for the runways, for the mechanics, for the lands crew to mow the grass between the runways?
Why do we have to have some appropriate?
Because they want to get up in the air to look at our roads. Get in any car and go in any direction, I'll find you a road that needs to be repaired. They want $4.5 million this year for a drone project, because they want to add drones to the airplane.
Oh, that's good.
Wasteful spending. MDHHS is $38 billion of our $68 billion budget.
Most of the cover things.
I can cut 2.1 billion of that by helping Donald Trump get rid of every illegal immigrant in this state.
Yeah.
Cities like Lansing, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Detroit, when their mayors want to declare that they are a sanctuary city and they go behind the president's executive order, you can bet your hiney I will be knocking on their door with the state police and I will arrest them on the spot. Accountability. While I'm at it, I should probably go get Benson, Nessel, and Whitmer too. Trying to get some energy during COVID, telling you you can't leave your home, telling you you're non-essential, that's discrimination 101.
They're witches.
I'd just rather call them a left-wing cartel, but they're gone in a year and a half. They're gone.
You want to, Mars, you want to, this is how you're gonna do your taxes on your home. When you buy it, you pay the price. That stays that price. It never goes up. When you turn 65, you don't have to pay taxes on your home. That's what my son's doing, trying to do in Indiana, because he's the lieutenant governor.
I'd rather you just pay it when you buy your home and that's it.
That's what it's gonna do.
And when you pay off your note, it's yours.
Yeah.
The government cannot implement eminent domain and take it from you because they want to. 187,000 families in our state are set to lose their homes this year. 98% of them are property taxes.
Yeah.
This was what you have to do. You have to get your law in every county. Get them to be lieutenant, or not lieutenant, get them to be a constitutional sheriff. He has all the authority. He has more authority than you got.
Yeah.
He become
I'm
governor.
not opposed,
And I'm
as long
telling
as
you,
it's not Chris Swanson.
when a good a guy or female is a lieutenant, he's the guy.
I bored him, he left.
But the sheriff doesn't have to let them give up their home. They can't pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there were a lot of sheriffs that stood up during COVID and said, I'm not gonna enforce these ridiculous mandates. Mandate's not a law to begin with, and we have the right to free travel. We should be able to go where we want, when we want. If you're sick, stay home.
That's the power of the sheriff.
Huh?
And our sheriff is a coward.
Well, I have a sheriff in Genesee County that likes to dance and twerk and do everything else, and he thinks he's gonna become governor that way. You see where I'm going here? Less taxes, that's a conservative method, right? Who else in the Republican Party that has any authority or any power has talked about cutting your taxes? They get elected, then the whole reach me by email and maybe we'll get back to you thing, right?
Oh, we don't get elected.
Yeah.
Lindsay did.
Who?
Lindsay, he talked about cutting.
He did. I want to paint another picture for you real quick. Not too long ago, not too far in the distant past, we had a governor named Snyder. Hear me out. I know, we didn't like him, but I'll give you the facts. Your budget was $56 billion and we had $9 billion surplus. Now we're $86 billion and we're broke. You know what state we are compared to as far as size, resources, manufacturing, population, and almost the same amount of miles of I-75? Georgia. Georgia and Michigan are twins except for the hat of the UP, whom most people in government have forgotten about.
That's part
I
of it.
have not.
And that was given to us because of how it's stone, 400 square miles of property.
What was given to us? The UP, but it's ours, and we need to acknowledge them.
Huh?
We need to acknowledge them. They are part of Michigan.
They were.
They still are.
They weren't the UP, but they were not a state at that point. States have more power than
I'm aware, but my point is that government doesn't acknowledge the UP. We don't recognize that. Guess who got the state of emergency last week from Gretchen Whitmer? Northern Michigan, the UP was not part of it. And they got hit the worst.
Yeah.
They have record snowfall this year, and she had the audacity to say, Atrium County over to Sheboygan and Rogers City, you guys are under a state of emergency, but you cross the bridge, you're on your own.
I went to college up in that area.
My fiance went to college up there,
Yes.
Michigan Tech.
We're all, our family's all skiers.
Yeah, I skied. I skied
I
Bohemia
remember
once.
when the snow was up to the, topsoil, Alpena, back in the sixties.
Yeah, I went up there in January, and the snowbanks were higher than my Dodge Ram that's sitting outside. And they said it's been that way since Halloween almost. The point I'm trying to make is that our government is too big. Just like our federal government, it's too big, it's too powerful. When we're supposed to hold that power. Talking about raising the salaries for your elected officials, with all the respect in the world, I disagree. You work 55 days a year, you're not going to make $73,000 on my dime. You want to make $73,000 a year, you better be working the entire year. When you work for someone, you should not be making more money than them. When you hold the power, they should not control you with the proverbial noose. That's what these people are doing. They're passing laws without asking you first. You know, illegal immigrants have driver's licenses in the state of Michigan?
Do they vote on them?
We didn't.
I know, we didn't hear, but are they, Michigan's letting them vote illegals because they have our.
Of course Benson's going to let them vote. That's why she's being sued by Patrick Colbeck,
Great.
whom I think would be a great replacement for her. Illegal immigrants are criminals. Anybody here been to the southern border anywhere at any time? Where'd you go?
I lived on the border. I lived in Tucson, Arizona. Went to Nogales all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
I spent 31 days in Eagle Pass, Texas last year. And if I told you I saw everything that you could imagine, I saw everything that you can
I
imagine.
know. I was
When Title
back
42 expired, my toes were on the edge of the Rio Grande River. I had 13 armed guards behind me and 5,000 people standing in front of me. And usually when you have 5,000 people from here to the other end of this building, you're going to hear noise, you're going to hear chatter, right? Because they're all talking their language, they're all excited to rush across that river. We heard nothing but a woman being raped 200 yards, 300 yards down the river. That's what we heard. And at midnight in Texas, Central Time, in Eagle Pass, she was one of the first to cross the river. And she came right up to the National Guard where I was at. Beaten, bloody, scarred, and had a 7-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl with her. That was the last thing they saw when they left Mexico before they came to get their freedom in the United States. We are humans. We believe in God. Pro-life. We want to protect people like that. And I hate that there's a but there's a but. We have immigration laws that have to be followed. Because when you don't abide by the law, you let the Colombian gangs and the Venezuelan cartel come into our state, in Michigan, Oakland County, rape our women, feed our kids drugs. And we say it's okay. I'm a racist because I say no, it's not okay. This is your far left and how they talk. You're a Nazi racist because you don't want illegals in our country. I said, what's your address? I'll send you 5 of them and never hear back from you. Who's going to pick the apples in the field? Get off your butt and go pick them yourself. Americans have gotten lazy and too reliant on the system Because we give the system $38 billion a year to pay you to do nothing. If I was in that position, I had to feed my boys who are 16 and 14. My son passed his driving test today. Thank you. I'd pick those apples out of the tree. I'd work the field. And I'd do it with pride. Because I'm an American and I'm a man. I'm taking care of my family. My blood, sweat, and tears allow my kids to sleep peacefully in their bed with sweet dreams every night. Our veterans took an oath so that you could sleep in your bed peacefully under a caveat of freedom. Insurance. You want to slow down drivers, Mayor? I'm telling you, you hit all my points. We get rid of no-fault insurance in the state of Michigan.
Yes.
We implement an at-fault insurance policy which puts the responsibility on the driver.
Yeah.
If you hit me, and it's your fault, you get a ticket, your insurance fits as my car and my medical.
Yeah.
Well, and once you do that once, and you see how expensive that gets, you'll slow down on the roads. It's also less expensive by 42%, 38 to 42%. So people who can't afford no fault can now afford an at-fault policy, so we do have more people with insurance on the roads. Another thing that I think is redundant, stupid, ignorant, a waste of money is annual auto renewals of our tags. The people of the Genesee County Sheriff's Department do not like Sheriff Swanson at all, and they work for him. I spoke to 17 deputies 2 weeks ago, and I asked the question, does anything change on your tag when you renew it from year to year? You know what they said? Your car gets a year older and it gets more miles on it, that's it. The only information we're looking for on your tags is who owns the car, is it insured, and what's your address? What's the first thing you pay when you buy your car? Tags, title, and license, right? One-time registration fees on our vehicles is what I propose to the House and the Senate. We have 151 Secretary of State offices in the state of Michigan, and the Constitution, my friend, says we are supposed to have one per county. Jocelyn Benson makes it easy for me to consolidate the Secretary of State because during COVID she made everything available online. She even put kiosks in Kroger and Meijer. I'll work to put them in Walmart just to beef up the population of the kiosk. If you had one Secretary of State in your city, in your county, like where I live, we have 4 offices within 15 miles, and we pay an average of $22,000 per building. Take the lease away on 3 buildings, take the staff away on 3 buildings, take the utilities away on 3 buildings, and take the benefits away on 3 buildings. I save Genesee County over $300,000. And we still have everything you need online with the Secretary of State. The only thing you can't do is change the title. But if you and I go down, I sell you my Harley, we sign the title, they don't give you a new title right then. They send it to Lansing, and Lansing mails you a title. So you want to buy my bike? Buy my bike, I'll give you the title, go home and mail it to Lansing. Consolidate government. If we cut government by 28%, our budget would be $58.2 billion. 28% is not that much. It's what we pay in taxes. You cut every department of government by 28%. Most of those positions are administrative. MDOT, 37% of that $8.1 billion is administrative. I don't even want to pay the DNR's top 10 because they're the ones leasing our land to third-party businesses to deforest our forests, to kill our animals, to put in solar panels that don't work in Gaylord, Michigan. So until you can do your job, you don't get 10% of your funding. I'll give it to the Department of Corrections, who does need it. Restructure government, guys. That's all I'm talking about. Cut the fat, shrink the size, local control, so the counties can work for you at the county level. And keep in mind, every county road does what? It butts up to another county road, right? So it doesn't stop. Where Genesee County's authority stops, Saginaw County picks it up. And it does that all throughout the state. I look at it like this: the federal government kind of supervises or manages what the states do, right? The United States is broken up by a bunch of borders, and within those borders are called states. Every state is broken up by borders that we call counties. Smaller government, bigger results. Let the counties supervise and manage let the state supervise and manage what the counties are doing, and give the counties the power to take care of you, so you can see where your money's going and see how it's going to benefit you better coming from the local authorities, not the state. Because once it goes to Lansing, and the best Joey from Friends voice I can give you, forget about it. That money's gone. You end the wind and solar initiative, it's not conducive for Michigan. Mr. Mayor, you said something about if we could provide our own power, that would be great, right? We have 3 nuclear plants in the state of Michigan that are hooked up to wind and solar. They don't work because you can't regulate the heat to 220 degrees to constantly produce the steam for the nuclear to work, to be generated. They have miniature nuclear pods now that with no property tax and no income tax, state income tax, we're enticing businesses to come to Michigan, buy their property, build their factories, and put a nuclear sub-plant on their property, and guess what? They will have all their own energy for free. If this model works, each county can have a nuclear model plant. And then we put the monopoly of DTE and consumer out of business. How does it work? DTE and consumer, they say, oh, solar panels, wind turbines, your energy's going to go down. Who in here is paying less energy today than they were last year? And they just approved a $125 million increase.
It's not strong enough electricity to do anything.
No, because the squirrel farts outside and my power goes out.
Jackson, I taught Jackson College, my first class every semester. We did a whiteboard, 4 hours. We compared one turbine field, 35 turbines, to one gas-fired power plant. Commercial turbines have a 3 times greater carbon footprint in just 20 years. If you take it over the 50 years, the gas-fired power plant would work, it goes to 13 to 1.
Wow.
It's not green energy.
There's some stuff that goes in with the nuclear. Our government has made a deal with Canada. We'll give you our nuclear waste. You can bring your trash over here for 37 cents a ton tipping fee. The same trash company can go to Ohio and pay $30 a ton. I impose we raise that to $50 a ton. If you don't like it, keep your trash. A $50 increase on tipping fees for Canada's trash does 2 things. Raises the revenue in the state of Michigan by $100 million. And then we use our trash to make that nuclear energy. We use our resources. It's not that hard to think about when we're all sitting here with the same stories. I go to work, I work 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to afford health care and my mortgage, and I don't have anything left at the end of the day. If we the people have the power, we the people need to stand up now. We can't wait for another failed career politician to go in and represent us the way they've been representing us. We need one of us. Because political experience equals failure. As a truck driver, as a father, as a soon-to-be husband, as an American, I don't want to be your leader. When Nesbitt comes here to talk to you, ask him, do you want to be our leader, Nesbitt? I want to be your servant. Because that's how your representatives need to treat you. They serve you, not control you. And if we start listening to you, we can fix our state, fix Michigan, because it's broken. We have petitions in the back for any of you that would like to sign. I know it's early, but we're trying to get 30,000 of them for this race. We have till April of next year. Anybody wants to help us in this area with petitions, I'd be glad to give you some. I have business cards back there that have my actual phone number on it. So if you have a question, call me. I spend 3 hours a day answering phone calls and emails. Ask the other reps the other candidates if they do that. They don't. So let's change Michigan. Let's fix Michigan, but let's do it together. I appreciate you.